implemented to assist in protecting fishermen out at sea. Minister of National Security and Communications Stuart Young, speaking to reporters in Tobago on Wednesday, said he has had preliminary discussions with the Minister of Agriculture on this, as in recent times the issue of piracy in Tobago's waters has increased. 2 Coast Guard interceptors were presented to Tobago on Wednesday. Minister Young said Cabinet took a decision to refurbish 14 interceptors. So far, 2 have been refurbished, and it was decided that they would be given to Tobago.
Within the past few months, we've had some incidents with fishermen, and they may have faced calamity at sea and they need to be rescued, etc. By us just having assets in the area, it provides us with more ability for a shorter response time and a more effective approach to search and rescue as well.
Minister Young said they are also looking at transponders as an option to protect fishermen.
I've had preliminary discussions with the Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries that when we're registering fishermen and their vessels, allow us to put GPS responders in your vessel. So therefore that obviously makes it safer for you out there. And if you're only engaged in legitimate business, you should have absolutely no problem with us monitoring. So we would be in a position to assist you if you get into trouble.
He said it is critical that the other 12 interceptors are up and running as quickly as possible to facilitate the north coast of Trinidad, the south coast, but more particularly the Gulf of Paria. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Cybercrime Unit, TTPS CCU, is investigating an increase in reports of online harassment and cybercrime. At the TTPS's weekly media briefing, Corporal Marvin Walker said from March 2018 to March 2019, there were 104 reports of online harassment, 56 reports of online bullying, and 83 reports of online defamation of character. He said the internet and social media are not places where someone can harass and bully the innocent without being caught. He added that offenders will be identified and will be made to answer for their activities online.
The TTPS recognizes the numerous positive contributions social media has made to national awareness, business, communication, and culture in our twin island republic. However, there are those who choose to use social media platforms for mischievous and nefarious purposes.
The TTPS CCU has noted several mischievous uses of social media in Trinidad and Tobago, like social engineering, targeted phishing attacks, site compromises, online bullying, confidential information leak, and celebrity name misuse, which he said is one of the popular social media threats of today.
Such a fake account can be used to spread misinformation and rumors or to attract new followers that can later be spammed. The gravity of these threats lies in the fact that criminals can use social media to extract users' personal information and misuse it.
To some sports news now. Young but moving on up, that's Trinidad and Tobago's 13-year-old diver Alyssa Ramlakan, who represented the red, white and black at the CCCAN Diving Championships in Havana recently. Over 120 divers from 13 countries from the Caribbean, Central and South America took part. And despite being by far the youngest competitor and the only one from the English-speaking Caribbean, Alyssa placed 13th in the women's open 1-meter event, which was won by Chilean Alison Maillard. Unperturbed, she stepped up in the 3-meter springboard event and placed a creditable 12th. The event was won by Mexico's Aranza Vasquez. This was a high-level competition and was the last qualifier for the Pan Am Games in Lima later this year. Ramlakan won double gold at the 2017 CCCAN Diving Championships at the National Aquatic Center in Couva when just 11 years old. That brings us to the end of News Now on TTT. I am Karen Kuzer-Phillip.
What you see today for this officer is the culmination of all the contributions made by Trinidad and Tobago. And more importantly, yes, there was in fact a donor to this officer, but that was one donor of many donors that would have contributed to what was happening. A lot of donors came on and gave us items to help police officers, not only to help police officers, but to also get them back on the feet. So for me, as an association and part of the wider campaign of the I Support Our Service campaign, it's an important and integral part for us because we want to make that social connection with corporate Trinidad and Tobago and move forward as a country and make this country a better place. I am now reassured that this country is a better place based on what I have seen today. We are trying to, in fact, impact on each of their lives. I'm quite certain that before the close of the year, every single officer would be in a better position than they were originally in after the floods.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to the Now Morning Show right here on TTT. I am with Lisa and Rishi, and it's great to be with everybody this morning.
Yes, you caught me actually putting my phone on silent, which is what I will do because I don't want it to ring in the middle of the program. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning, Universe. So good to be with you this morning. Rishi, Carey. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning.
Well,
morning, Rishi.
Today is the big day, April 4th, SCA. For the SCA students who are going out there, we're sending our prayers to the students who are writing their exam, to the parents, to the family, to the whole network, because everyone, it's a bunch of news for some, and for others, it's like, no problem, it's all good.
A bit of a walk in the park for some.
It's a walk in the park. But at the same time, we want to encourage all the parents to support your children today and for the rest of their lives because, some people put so much on today and really and truly, it really doesn't depend. It really doesn't matter where you go. It's what you do with where you go.
Yeah, and we've had that conversation several times on this show about supporting your child. And, I was chatting with one of my friends yesterday whose son is writing SCA exam today. And he's already talking about after the exam, they're going out, probably take him somewhere to relax.
Yes.
And many people look forward to that.
Yeah, I know some venues going to be crazy.
Totally
wild with SCA students celebrating and just taking relief,
they don't have any school to go to until September.
Well, some schools actually do languages. They do swimming. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's very cool. From my experience, when I wrote common entrance, I think it was the last common entrance, as I said. we didn't have all that. School was just cut for us. We had no class until September.
We did swimming.
We had a huge holiday.
But I didn't learn to swim because I almost drowned. But that's another story.
I have a few almost drowned stories.
So do you swim? Can you swim?
Yeah, I did have swimming classes.
I can swim now after almost drowning 3 times in my life.
But I didn't go back, so now I still need to learn to swim. But some schools learn, Spanish and other French and so on during the time. Some do other extracurricular activities to keep the children active. So, yeah.
Nice. All the best to all the SCA students. I know yesterday the Minister of Education did say that everything was in place. Everything is all set for the exam today. Accommodation was made for students who would have disabilities. So everything looks fine, and at 3 o'clock this evening, the Ministry of Education will be having a press conference to update us on how things went today. So that is something to look forward to. And while I'm on the topic of what is happening today, the Ministry of Works and Transport will be having a press conference this morning at 9:30
to talk about the new ferry that was leased from Malta, and I know we're going to have that here
We're
on
carrying it
TTT Live.
Yes, we are. And I want to say that's something for us to look forward to as well. I want to say special thank you on behalf of the crew, the morning crew, both radio and television. Remember, we're a big network here on TTTL. To Chimuk Bakery on behalf of the guys. I know you would get, I know y'all would get all excited when I say that. Yesterday I had the saltfish.
Yeah, I had the chicken.
Is really good.
You had chicken? What
I had the pumpkin yesterday.
You had
It was-
pumpkin?
Oh, pumpkin is so healthy.
really good.
But nobody told me that pumpkin. I would have had both, but we can't because, we have to make sure everybody gets it.
Listen, it's so good that sometimes people are actually fighting for food. I'm not going to call names, Carlos and those guys, but sometimes they fight for it.
You could throw my name in there. I'm like, hello, leave that saltfish for me. And if I knew it had pumpkin, because I had the melangen one day and it was mwah.
I mean, it's good to think about what you're going to get to eat as soon as you come off the set.
Yeah.
So,
and Chimuk Bakery has been with us for so long.
You know
and
Carrie
it's
knows the
really
jingle,
good.
right?
The original Chimuk jingle?
No,
Sing it.
I don't know. Chimuk Bakery. All your pastries fresh and tasty. Chimuk Bakery.
No way, Carrie. Carrie, no. Oh my gosh, Carrie, that is a
classic.
That's a classic moment right there. So, you know what this is? I know you're wondering, what is this in my hand? I don't want to say it before the show because I know a certain person who, it's all about that certain person. I was told got a silver, but I got a gold, Rishi.
How did you get a gold medal?
I don't know, but I got a gold medal from the Pan American Dragon Boat Federation.
How did you get a gold medal and I got a silver? I was actually there for
The thing is, Lisa has the Midas touch.
For a contribution to the Dragon Boat activities that took place over the weekend that you were there for all 3 days.
And in the hot sun, Mr. Keith Dallip and members of the Trinidad and Tobago Dragon Boat Federation, we will be having a conversation just after this show because I cannot understand how Lisa Wickham got a gold medal and I only got a silver. Ken Fuentes,
I knew this would
I will see you after the show.
I knew it would
This is unfair.
Here. When our floor coordinator, Lisa, says, what's that red thing? I said, you don't worry about that. I don't say nothing about this because I know Rishi would just go crazy.
Because I was so happy. I got a message saying that they would give me the silver medal and now Lisa got a gold. Is it because you sent me there? I don't know what it is, but you know what? I'll deal with that when I'm finished.
Yes, Rishi. Well, let's hear you were telling me about a police car that was stolen.
Yes. So apparently there was a road traffic accident in the Claxon Bay area yesterday, right? And police said they went to the scene and they saw somebody got out of one of the vehicles that was in the accident and started to walk around. So they said it looked suspicious, so they went after the person. The person doubled back, according to the police, and went and stole the police vehicle and drove off.
Wow.
and went live on Facebook.
Yes.
And police had to go and find him after.
But they got him?
They did.
Oh my God.
Well, he went live on Facebook. I mean, I don't think he was trying to hide.
Yeah, but the thing is, he did say that he isn't worried about being arrested. And I'm like, really?
Well, I'm curious.
You stole a police vehicle?
Well, I think I want to find out what's the other side of the story.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe there's another side to it. Maybe he's mentally ill. Maybe, I don't know. Or perhaps that was something that he thought he could get away with it.
Or maybe he thought it was still April Fool's and he was putting a prank on the police.
Carrie got a roll. Right? You are the roll.
I think I made coffee this morning. That's right.
So guys, we can't show this video. Nessa Preppy is one of the songs that we all love. It's a snack, right?
Remember what was trending at the point?
Said, yes, and Brian
Rishi is a snack. Hashtag Rishi is a snack.
No, it said Rishi, you are not a snack. Carrie is the whole snack. Don't get it twisted, Rishi. Remember, you and all brought it here and showed us that the person said, Rishi, I know you think you're a snack, but you're not really a snack. Carrie is the snack. That's what they said. Anyway, I was talking about the Nessa Preppy video. Right, which is trending now. It's just blew up. It came out yesterday, but it's a bit raunchy, so we can't show it. But our very own Karen Cozier opens the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's not snacking out, huh? It's a clip of her actually on the news talking about how popular.
She was introducing a story on the Nessa Preppy song.
Yeah.
And they decided to put it in the video.
Yeah, so there you go. Good morning,
Karen. While Karen is doing good things, all in music videos, there are memes going around with me.
Because you look like Dale Colasing.
No!
For those of you who remember Dale
That is not where I
Colasing,
was going with that.
those of you who remember Dale Colasing, who is one of our top journalists of all time, I think Rishi and so many others of us think that we don't have the picture to put up. We'll put it up in the second hour, the comparison, because it's uncanny.
Yeah, it's very
Don't
uncanny.
you guys think so in studio? Those of you who know Dale Colasing, yeah, you do. All right, so it's time for us to get serious here. I know some of you are like, where is our traffic update, guys? We're on the road. We want to know what's going on. Here it is right now.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
And we're in central Trinidad one more time, and we are at the Monroe Road area here on the Rea Butler Highway. We are now facing the southbound lane, and we can see that there are quite a few vehicles heading southbound at this point in time, but the flow of traffic is free and flowing, so that's good news for those of you who are heading south. But looking across on that northbound lane, we can see a greater volume of vehicles heading toward the northern regions of the country from south and central Trinidad, and it seems to be getting stickier by the minute. Now, this morning is SEA, and there'll be a number of parents going out to take their loved ones to write that examination. So it is expected that there would be maybe a little more traffic on the road this morning at this point in time. But we'll keep our eyes on the traffic situation around the country and keep you updated with this traffic update brought to you by TrafficTT.com.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
And we're back in studio, and coming up next on the program, we have Frank M. Porter. Rishi went crazy when he heard that in studio. Dr. Sophia Mohammed, who is the CEO of CISU Global Wellness. She's brought with her Matthew Cassetta. We'll find out why. And we, of course, have Reverend Jacqueline Martinez, who will be saying a prayer for SEA students right after the break when we come back after this.
Sweet 100.1 FM and Fiesta Plaza present Wednesday Love. Love at the Plaza, Wednesday, April 10th, 6 to 8 p.m. If you enjoy our Wednesday Love on Sweet 100, you will enjoy an evening with us and our cast of stars at Movie Town. Sweet 100 is bringing love to the Plaza on April 10th. This is your Wednesday Love.
On any given day, at any given time.
You can have your say on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Call in, text in, send us an email. All our shows are fully interactive.
Whether we're talking politics, sports,
Current affairs, social issues,
culture, and the arts. Stay in the know with our daily news bulletin and breaking news updates.
We're committed to keeping you informed about the world around you.
and yes, we entertain you too with the best Kaiso, steel pan, and local and regional music. We are your address for talk. Talk City 91.1 FM and TalkCity91FM.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. No need for introduction. You all know who we are. So let's get down to business. I came to tell you all thanks for not informing on me when you see me shooting behind your brother in the middle of the road now. Or when you see me put the drugs in the hole, right in the wall around the corner. Or when I break in your neighbor house and empty it out. And I know you didn't tell the police while they hide the gun that I know you see. But no need to complain, because that is not your business, eh? So when I come to rob you tomorrow with the same gun I know you see me hide, don't sell me out, eh? Thanks again.
Precious Heavenly Father, mighty God, today is a special day for our young people, for the SEA exam. And precious Father, we just want to lift them into your presence. Lord, they are little lambs, oh God. And Father God, today they are experiencing anxiety, oh God. And we just want to lift them into your presence, oh God. And we ask, Lord, that more than anything, that you would cause your peace, oh God, to rest upon them. Heavenly Father God, that you will touch their minds, that you will unravel their thoughts, oh God, that you will cause them, Lord, to have such a calm, that everything that they have been learning over the past 2 years, that, Lord, it will come back to them. Father God, oh Lord, in your word you say that you could give us the peace that goes beyond our understanding. And today, oh God, we ask that they will experience that peace. Father God, oh Lord, that when they will open their papers, oh God, they will remember the things, oh God, that they learned. It will come back to them, Father. And Almighty God, we pray even for their parents today, that they will experience that peace as well. That, Lord, you will give them the wisdom to deal with these young ones, oh God, even after they've come out of the exam. That, Lord, they will know how to encourage them, to uplift them, to cause them to know, oh God, that no matter what happens, oh God, that they are loved, they are appreciated, and that they have done well because they would have done their best. Lord God, we place them in the very palm of your hands, because you have promised us in your word, oh God, that whatever we place in the palm of your hands, oh God, that none could pluck them out. And so, Lord, keep these young ones, oh God. Keep their minds, Father. Cause them to be sharp. We pray, oh God, that your spirit of excellence, oh God, will be upon every single one of them, Lord. That they will shine. And Father God, oh Lord, that this year, Lord, we will see even greater results in the SEA than we have seen in years past, Father. And Lord, it will be an encouragement to all those that will be coming after. We give you all the praise, all the thanks, all the honor, oh God, in Jesus' precious name. Amen.
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 Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Reverend Jacqueline Martinez from the Trinidad Christian Center.
Yes.
Good morning.
Morning. Hi.
And thank you for coming to say that prayer. I'm sure so many parents got that by surprise, and they're probably very thankful right now.
Yes, yeah.
And I know you had some words of advice for parents this morning.
Well, just really to encourage them, because, you know, having gone through the experience, well, it seems so long now because my son is now 18. And I remember that day as if it was yesterday, because he was nervous, I was nervous. And the thing that we knew is that we had to really draw that peace from the Lord. And it's so important for parents to just remember that they are young. It's a lot that's placed upon them at this time, and their role as parents is to encourage them to just let them decompress.
Yes.
You know, after the exam, not to make it too intense, just let them decompress and really enjoy their youth. You know,
so your son is 18 years now.
He's 18
So when you
now.
look back and you think, oh gosh, this day, you can really identify with what the parents are going through this morning.
And identify,
Yeah.
you know, and I remember, you know, all the anxiety, especially over at that time, they had to do, you know, the composition. I'm not sure if they do that now, and composition was his weakest area.
Yeah.
And that was the part, and I said I would spend the whole morning in prayer. And I remember starting off, you know, setting my mind that I'm spending the morning in prayer. And I felt like the Lord told me, it's okay, I have this.
Yes.
You can get up. And at the end of it, he got 100% in the composition, you know. So, and that was the
And he
area
was so
of
nervous.
anxiety.
Yeah.
And so God has it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just really to encourage parents to just leave it. Life works out.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you very much for coming and blessing our children today, and our parents and our teachers as well.
Yes,
and the
yes.
entire support network. So thank you once again
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thanks for
on the
having me.
program. Yes, wonderful. So as we get Reverend Jacqueline Martinez offset, we bring on set Frank Porter, the legendary Frank Porter. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Pleasure. It's great to be here.
I have a story for you. I don't know if you remember, but you know, I used to write poems. I was looking for the book. No, I will not tell tales out of school. I forgot to look for the book last night. And I met you. You were still a teacher,
Yes,
right?
I was, yeah.
And I met you because my mom was a teacher at the time.
She was,
retired
yes,
as a principal.
yes.
And I think you were with her chatting about something. I came up, might have been about 8 or so, and I said, you know, I write poems too. And you said, well, my dear, you should put the poems together and call it an anthology of poetry. And I didn't know what the word meant, and you explained what it meant. So I actually put it in a copybook, and it has an anthology of poetry. I still have that book.
Good.
Yeah.
So this media powerhouse that you've turned out to be, that was the genesis.
You had something to do with that, but
That's
you had
great,
something to do
that's
with
great.
thousands of people, including Rishi, who nearly jumped out of his chair when he heard you were coming.
Yes.
I was excited. I mean, he's a legend.
Yes.
The stories that we would have read in school, I mean, those things you wouldn't forget.
At all, right?
Yeah. And we still use it.
Carla and Boyo, right?
Yes.
So,
well, I have something to say here. I launched Carla and Boyo right here 36 years ago.
Really?
With his award.
Really?
So when I came in here, this was like, wow. And I remember after launching the program, a cameraman, his name was something Mohammed.
Right.
The man literally bought a whole set of books. And wow. And not too long afterwards, it became national.
Yes.
So I remember that quite fondly.
And 36 years later, tell us what's happening with Frank M. Porter.
Well, Frank M. Porter has evolved, if I may say so. And what is interesting again, I've recently done an upgrade of Boyo and Carla.
Yes.
More modern.
Yes.
Consistent
They
with
on the internet. They have a little
yes.
cell phone inside of there.
Yes. In fact, the mommy and daddy, when they are first introduced on page 2, they're taking a selfie.
That's Rishi's family right there.
That's Rishi's family. So I have come here. Well, I've done a lot of writing through the years.
Yeah.
In addition to Boy and Carla, I've done comprehension stuff, and then something utterly amazing has happened along the way. I no longer am teaching. That's about 16 years ago.
Yes, I think
I got involved. I became a pastor along the way.
Right.
And I became involved with an organization called Youth for Christ.
Right.
So I'm now the national director of that. So I hope to come in a little while. We have something called Liberation Day.
Yes.
Thousands of kids we have there every once a year, sometime May 4th. So I'm hoping to share that with you guys.
Oh, of course, yes. So what advice do you have to give for the children who would have studied your books and they're sitting today and they're excited or they're nervous? What advice would you give to them?
I want to give them an advice that really is my story. Today, a lot of children, they are going into the exams and they are a bit scared that they wouldn't get their first choice. But I think she said it all fair, that your first choice will not determine your future. This might come as a surprise to most people, but in my time, it was common entrance.
Right.
And in my school, essentially, one person passed, and it wasn't me.
Say that again.
One person passed, and it was not me.
Really?
In other words, I failed.
Really?
But again, and this for parents, my father invested in me. He was not even working at a good job. He was on the port, a white slip. But he knew my potential. Actually, I would come first in the class all the time. But something happened on that day. And but my father invested in me and sent me to a school called Donruss.
Right.
I don't know how he...
Parents have a way of doing those things. Yes.
When they did understand my story, actually, I got applied for the last term before passing to go to Tranquility. And at Tranquility, it's amazing. I put my head down. At the end of it all, I emerged as the head boy of the school at the graduation, delivered the valedictory address. I'm one of 4 people who got 5 full passes. So not passing on the day at common entrance or seat doesn't mean it's the end of the line. In fact, it can motivate. And that's a word for the parents as well. Because if by chance your child doesn't satisfy you with a choice, you don't know, you might. And then it's not only about your academics. You could have
so many other types of because you're speaking there and I'm thinking of Sherwin Winchester. So many years ago he gave us the story. That he didn't pass common entrance either. And he used to sit and wait for his friends who had passed to come and take their books and sit down and study from their books, right? And I said, well, what did you learn in school today? And that's how he actually did for a couple of years until he was able to raise funds through his singing to attend a private high school in Tobago.
And the beautiful thing about that is that I subsequently got my A-levels, went to Mausika Teachers College, went to UWI.
Yes.
And wrote all, so,
and end up now influencing the lives of so many young people, like Rishi, right?
Like Rishi. Rishi seemed to be a bundle of fun.
He is a bundle of fun.
Thank you very much. I will cherish that comment for a very, very long time.
He is going to go cut it, you know, and put it up on social media and say, look, Frank M. Porter said I'm a bundle of fun.
And he does have a look like Dale Cool.
He does. He does. Yes, he does. Yeah. So from today now, you know, what's next for you in the future? I know you have the Youth for Christ.
Yes.
Any more books on the horizon?
Yeah, well, I've said I'm recently going to launch this, well, I'm on the verge of launching the new Boy on Color.
Right.
And so that will be hopefully what the children would use in the upcoming...
Are you going to come and launch it here, like you did 36 years ago?
I'm going to grab that invitation.
I think that's a wonderful opportunity.
I will. She'll be here for me shortly.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that. Can I get a hug?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yes, it's so wonderful to see you again.
Great pleasure.
All right? Yes.
So, I hope he doesn't leave until...
you get a selfie, Rishi. Yes, we know. We know that. We know. So don't leave right now. But Rishi, right now, you're going to tell us what's happening in the news.
Yes, it is time for news now on TTT.
Yes, thank you.
Education Minister Anthony Garcia says all provisions are in place to ensure smooth sailing for today's SCA examination. The minister says concessions for students with special needs have been processed and approved. Today, over 18,000 students will write the SCA exams. $60 million is expected to be given to the police service. This is from Minister of Finance Colm Imbert, who met with the Commissioner of Police on April 1st. On Tuesday, Minister Imbert tweeted, "Meeting was cordial and productive. The ministry will provide a further $60 million to the TTPS for goods and services shortly, bringing the total of goods and services in 2019 so far to $160 million. 58 specialist healthcare professionals from Cuba have been hired by the Ministry of Health. A statement from the ministry said this is part of its ongoing recruitment drive to address the shortage of qualified and experienced professionals in the public healthcare system. The new recruits are expected to work for 3 years to fill vacancies not filled by locals. Remedial work on the Caroni River is ongoing, and when it is completed, it is expected to hold more than 2.5 times the volume of water that now flows along its course. This is according to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who visited Greenvale and La Hoqueta. He said the river was desilted, dredged, and the embankment raised. The work will continue over the next few months and will include the installation of additional water pumps and to ensure that there is the widening of the Caroni River. And that was News Now on TTT. A lot of excitement here on the morning show, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
From here to home, if a home's your heart's desire, one filled with love and harmony, at TTMF we'll help you to find your way easily, with quick financing, low deposits, and the best interest rates. With TTMF you're on your way, we'll take you straight to your front gate. Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company Limited. From here to home.
Good day, sir. I am number 18854, Woman Acting Corporal Jordan. I observed that you just broke the traffic light. May I see your driver's permit and your insurance, please?
Officer, you know I couldn't stop there. You're my blind, oh gosh. All them criminals and them on the outside and you jumping me with a red light. Come on, officer.
Sir, Are you aware that breach of a traffic light is one of the leading causes of road fatality? So we must all do our part to be responsible drivers.
You're right. I never really thought about it that way. I like how you deal with me real professional as well.
Was our service satisfactory? Call 800 TTPS and share your experience.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to the Now Morning Show right here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live online on Facebook and on YouTube. It's now time to look at our traffic cam.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
And we're in Champlain right now, and as we see this vehicle going from the Eastern Main Road branching onto that extension to the Rabatla Highway there, we can see that it is pretty clear in this area right now. So for those of you in the Champlain area, it is a nice and clear road. Looking across onto the priority bus route, we don't see much action at this point in time, but for now, it is also very nice and clear in that direction. But I know vehicles will be making their way to and from Port of Spain and environs as the morning progresses, and as we see here, larger volume of vehicles heading from the Eastern Main Road down onto that extension of the highway there, and we can only suspect that the traffic light had just changed. But for now, things look pretty good, and we will keep you updated with traffic around the country with this traffic update. And for now, that's a wrap.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
Now, Lisa has a very interesting chat with two guests here, and they're going to speak about things in the realm of wellness. So I'll give it over to Lisa now.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Yes, as a matter of fact, no stranger to the program. I have with me Dr. Sophia Mohammed.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
CEO of CISU Global Wellness, and so many other hats. Congratulations on the presentation recently in New York.
Thank you.
And you brought with you Matthew Cassetta, who's Deputy Chief of Mission in
Good
the
morning,
Congo.
Lisa. Good morning.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Ça va?
C'est un plaisir d'être ici avec vous.
Any chance I get to speak French, you guys know that I just take the opportunity. So, Dr. Safa, tell me what's happening with the WITS Global Summit this year?
Right. So, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us on the set on now. So, what's happening now is WITS, Wellness, Innovation, Technology, Sustainability. It's the first ever wellness summit for Trinidad and Tobago. It's a global summit. We have regional speakers. One of our speakers is here, and he has previously worked here in Trinidad, Public Affairs Officer at the U.S. Embassy, moved on to European Union, traveled all over, have experience with respect to workplace wellness, organizational wellness. Some of our other speakers, Ria Lala, who is coming from Canada, and we have our Dr. Tom Price, Secretary of Health from United States government. And what it is, it's the first ever wellness summit.
Right.
How are we marrying technology, because we use this every day, and how do we create sustainable, innovative platform and action to infuse the culture of health into our everyday practices.
Yes.
And as I noticed this morning, you all infused laughter, infused a lot of family type values here right here on the set. So you all have it down. You all have it down, right? One of the key lines is saying it's not business as usual.
Yeah.
The workplace is evolving. Shouldn't the health of your workforce too?
Well, you know, I see eye to eye with you, Dr. Safi. You know, I do see eye to eye with you. Matthew Cassetta, what are some of the jump out points that will be examined beyond what Dr. Saf spoke about, that you will be focusing on?
Sure. So, Lisa, the first thing that you have to take into account here for wellness is it affects everyone. It doesn't matter what sector you're in, and it doesn't matter if you're media or private sector or government or NGOs. This is something that every manager should be concerned with because it affects our bottom line, it affects our productivity, it affects how we interact. And we can avoid things like absenteeism, lost revenue. And also, it's really important for retention if we take care of ourselves first and our workforce.
Yeah.
Okay, and as managers, just talking to people and checking in with them. Then you can move on to what we call a strategy in the workplace. And a couple of elements of those. Some of these you have on your show. You have a fitness segment. I was really excited to hear that.
Yeah.
And very simple things that you can do. Exercise together. Have sessions, be they, yoga, meditation. There's so many different ways to do this.
So it's really about creating an environment in the workplace.
Absolutely.
That, just yesterday, guys, didn't I just tell you guys that yesterday? Well, not you, but the guys here, those who came to the meeting. Yeah, because I absolutely agree that if you are spending 15, some people spend 20 hours, which is probably not very healthy.
Yeah.
Some people spend 8 to 12 hours.
70 hours in the workforce.
You spend the majority of your time there. That's the place that you want to feel comfortable.
And that's where you want to create that ecosystem. So that's the topic is the Global Summit and Ecosystem. You're creating the workplace in an ecosystem that's healthy. So everyone who's attending is going to be leaving with tools. Every attendee and this event is happening tomorrow morning at Hyatt. Anyone who's interested, feel free, call in. Our numbers are 337-WITS, which is 337-9487 and 360-7478, because we have our final seats to go, final discounted, negotiated prices down.
I'm going to send you your bill in the mail, okay, ma'am? Yeah. Yes, but definitely in terms of wellness and getting people on board, I know that you've been doing a lot of work getting this together, so congratulations on that.
It has been a journey.
It has been
Our journey has been long in fitness and health and wellness.
Journey, definitely. Matthew Cassetta, what advice would you give to people who are looking to reorganize their businesses? Especially, I want you to speak to, because some of the larger businesses, they have certain systems in place. Yes. But you may have smaller organizations who think, I don't have time for that. It's just about the firefighting and getting things done.
Absolutely, they need to make time for this. Okay, so it's true. I've worked with partnerships with large partners such as the United Nations, U.S. government, of course, but also with really tiny, institutions, research NGOs or universities and things. This is really, really important, especially in an era of technology where I think we all experience certain moments of overwhelm. The technology has to work for us.
Yes.
Right? And we have to look at making whatever organization we work with, whether it's media or private sector, we have to make the organization sustainable.
Yes.
Okay, so that means it has to really resonate with us. We have to be comfortable where we are. We have to express ourselves. We have to move our bodies, right? We have to keep things fit and active. It's so important.
Yeah.
Maintain open lines of communication, and really, however brief the space is, be open, create those spaces so people can take care of themselves. Hopefully doing it together, discussing it together, and forming a plan and a strategy together.
Because you're looking at the total fitness, not just physical, but emotional, spiritual,
and most importantly, intellectual wellness, the mind. Because the mind is what controls everything.
Stimulation, absolutely.
And how do we make the workplace healthier, more productive? Because guess what? And there's enough statistics from Economic Forum, everywhere else, World Health Organization, to say the happy, healthy individual will produce more, will be more engaged and less stressed.
Absolutely. Okay, so tomorrow is the WITS Global Summit Ecosystem at the Hyatt Hotel, and I want you to just give me the, just give us the telephone number very quickly.
Yes, so the number is 337-WITS, 337-9487, or WITS at witsglobalsummit.com. Join us. It is the starting of the conversation, the narrative of how do we make not just the individual healthy. And healthy individual is a healthy community, a healthy workforce, and thereby a healthy nation.
All right, so I just want to check in with Facebook while you're on set and read this comment from Sushila R.T. Hariprasad, who says, "Good morning, guys. I'm sure you all have everyone tuned in, rolling with laughter this morning. I know I am the best way to start your morning, and
fantastic.
That's our
Congratulations to this happening now. Seriously, you all are happening now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Safia Mohammed and Matthew Cassetta, for joining us, and all success with the conference tomorrow. We're taking a few messages. Come right back right here on Now.
to Sunday, get lost in the world of award-winning films. Green Days by the River, April 21st at 3 p.m. Be viewing TTT to experience the breathtaking film adaptation of Michael Anthony's beloved novel. Voted People's Choice for Best Narrative Feature at the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. Recipient of the Carmichael Award for Exceptional Storytelling at the Barbados Independent Film Festival. Green Days by the River proves that locally produced films will captivate you and transport you to other worlds. A tale of love, loss, and intrigue. Green Days by the River premieres April 21st only on TTT.
The doors of the Kaiso Cafe open every Sunday at Talk City 91.1 FM. We play the best calypsos, interview the singers, discuss calypso history, and we invite you, the listener, to participate. Join us from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday for the Kaiso Cafe on Talk City 91.1 FM.
From the small town all the way to New York.
I don't know what to do, Mom. He's my children's father, and I really love him, but he only reacts like this when he drinks.
Ma'am, I will ensure that you get all the help that you need.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is devoted to providing assistance to victims of domestic violence. If you're a victim of domestic violence, a report should be made to the police immediately so the matter can be addressed in the most appropriate manner. Domestic violence is very serious. Do not wait until it's too late.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show right here on TTT, also on Talk City 91.1 FM, TTT Live online on Facebook and on YouTube. So you can catch us in a number of ways if you're at home, or if you are going in your cars right now, or if you're anywhere else in the world and outside of Trinidad and Tobago. This morning, we are going to speak about the Progressive Empowerment Party's market, and that is a very interesting conversation I'm about to have with Felicia Holder, who's the chairman, and Janice Lemon-Creaky, who is the PRO, public officer. Thank you. All right, so tell me, what is the PEP market?
Well, we call it the PEP market.
The PEP market.
PEP market.
Yeah, it has a nice ring to it.
Yes, PEP market is first and foremost proof of concept, that if you give people hope and opportunity, that they will seize that opportunity to advance themselves and their businesses. So it started off as a way to give our members first an opportunity, those entrepreneurs, business owners, sole traders, people who are thinking of owning or starting their own business but are not sure how to get that foot out, right, that we would have given them that leg up, given them that opportunity to come and market, sell, advertise their products and services at our PEP market. So we created it for our members first, and it has expanded. We have opened it up to the public based on the overwhelming support of the market. This is actually our second one. I would like to add it is also our main, well, as of right now, a way of raising funds, because we are a political party that does plan to contest the next or any election that is called. We do not want to be beholden to the pocket financiers. We believe that's the seed and the root of corruption. So we are doing this our way, being funded by ourselves, our members, and our own business ideas.
All right, so, and what is the other intention of the thing? Is it also public outreach?
Yes, it is.
To an extent, yes, it is, because this market, like I said, I call it the Palau of markets, because yes, there's everything and anything in that market. We have people doing organic products, whereas we have people offering tutoring services and advertising, marketing themselves within the market, creating that network of vendors and business owners and shoppers as well. In the market, of course, you can come and sign up to become a member, purchase your PEP merchandise, your T-shirts, etc.
And when you say a member, what do you mean?
An official member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, which entitles you to benefits, of course.
Okay, what type of benefits are we talking about?
Well, firstly, you get a nice reduced rate at the PEP market, which, you know, people appreciate. That has...
Yeah, discount is always a favorable word.
Everybody loves a discount. And, you know, with the economy right now, of course, you want to give people an opportunity to do as much as they can without having to fork out too much from your pocket. Because the idea, of course, is to raise the profit, raise the revenue of so many people who right now are on the breadline with Petrotrin. You have found that a lot of people are interested in the markets and finding a way to get their names and their business out there.
Janice, how have you reached out to individuals who may be interested in this market?
Well, we have done our usual advertising using social media, of course, and doing programs like yours, morning programs, to advise the public that PEP Markets is the place to come for best bargains. And with Mother's Day coming up, do your early shopping. We have some great stuff that's going to be on sale.
Right.
As well as following soon after that, it is Father's Day. So it's an opportunity to come and also to bring the kids, because we're going to have a section for kids. It's going to be a bouncy castle, face painting. So you know your children will be in a safe environment while you walk around the market, sample, because some of the vendors will also be providing samples of their products.
Right.
So you'll be able to sample and, you know, have the leisure of shopping and knowing that your kids are being looked after and able to enjoy themselves.
So would they be supervised in these? Okay, that's great. You know, so you know, everything is taken into consideration and to make it a family day. And not just a fundraising event itself, but you know, something to bring people together.
And it's going to be a great food court.
I want to highlight that you said that family thing, because that is the vibe that we tried to create, and it happened effortlessly in the first market. We have a very close family-knit environment within the Progressive Empowerment Party, and that has translated to the market where the vendors have said, you know, we feel so comfortable, we want to be with you all again, we like the family vibe that you all bring to it. After stress, entry into this event is free, absolutely free. Like Janice said, there's a food court, there's a spa on the day where you can get half off your treatments, a massage table, jewelry, handmade jewelry on the spot by our very own Janice Lemon Cricky, who does jewelry, some beautiful earrings.
Are those earrings your own creation?
Those are
very, very nice.
Yes, and I sometimes act as a model for her with her earrings, etc. So come and get your... And when I tell you really good prices, really good prices.
All right. So before we close off, can you tell me where is it going to be? When is it? And as you said, it's free already, so we know what the entry fee is.
It's going to be at Lions Cultural Center in Woodbrook, which is right opposite the stadium, and there's going to be lots of parking as well. Now, I also want to put a little thing in for the men, because men will say, well, you know, this sounds all a feminine kind of event, but for the men, they're going to be able to do pedicures and also come and get your nails done as well. Women like men like to have nice hands.
Who you know, pamper themselves a little bit and take care of themselves.
And, you know, in France, men are now wearing the necklaces that have pearls in them.
Okay.
They're not cheap.
I wouldn't think it was.
But for the men, you know, you can come and have a necklace made right there on the spot, because I do it. It's not that difficult. But the one last plug I would like to put in is for all those people who have suddenly become unemployed.
Okay.
Instead of looking to go and work for somebody else, because they would have been given a package by their organization.
So they should
get into your passion. Get into your passion.
And I want to thank you so much, Alicia Holder, Chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party, and Janice Lemon Creaky, who is the PRO, Public Relations Officer. I got it right this time.
That's right.
Just one thing we didn't say.
I'm just going to go to the traffic cam right now, because we want to keep everybody updated with what is going on the nation's roads.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
All right, and we are in San Fernando right now, and we are looking at the San Fernando bypass. As we look In this direction, heading toward Pleasantville and the suburbs of San Fernando, we can see that it's all clear, barely any vehicles heading in both directions right now. But as we look over here, we can expect, as we pan across in a little bit, we'll see what it looks like at the roundabout at the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service Station. There, we could expect that it would have a little bit of build-up just at the roundabout as vehicles make their way into San Fernando. Panning across here, getting to actually look at it now, we can see. And yep, as expected, slight stoppage at the roundabout, but that's only because of the traffic heading into San Fernando. But it seems to be good for now at this time of morning. Remember, it's SEA morning, so number of vehicles on the roads right now as people make their way to drop off their little ones who have to write the exam this morning. And we want to wish you all the best and good luck for that. And now we wrap up this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
All right, we just want to say that this Sunday, the PEP Market, not the Up Market, the PEP Market will be at the Land Civic Center from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So go on out and enjoy. All right, so we do have that photograph for you, the comparison between Rishi and Dale Colasing. Where is it? Let's see what he looks like. There you go. There you go. Now tell me, the spirit of Dale Colasing lives on in Rishi Kenneth Harinanan. There you go.
I don't see it. So uncanny, you know. It's like you are the man's doppelganger.
You use that word. I don't even know what it means. I saw it again today on social media with someone referring to Kitchener's son and Shadow's son.
Right.
So I'm going to Google it. I'm not even going to ask you because, Carrie, you know these fancy words that we hear all the time. I just want to say good morning to those of you following us on Facebook. And Richard Bruce Morrell, you've been with us. Alim Mohammed. Alim? Good morning. Good morning, Alim. Gregory St. Bernard. I want to say good morning to Judy Ramcharan, who agrees that Rishi looks like Dale Colasing. Patricia Noriga, Alex Griffith, Annie Sanka, Tara Lutchman, Desiree Bob, Nimsaj. I can't pronounce the name, but you're in London, so good to have you with us. Mala Bagwandine, Rene Pichier. Why is that face? What face does that you're giving us there on social media? Hanifa Peters. Remember, if you're listening to us in your cars, you can actually continue doing that all the way up until 8 o'clock. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on, guys. Social media is really buzzing. Lydia Nelson, Michaels, Roana Hossein. I'm seeing some new and some familiar names.
And that's good. It means that we are attracting people. People like to be motivated and encouraged in the morning, you know.
I think so. Start your day the right way with Now. We'll be back after the break for the news, so join us after the news.
Take a loan right now for your car, house, for a vacation, for your own land, or for education. First Citizens Easy Does It.
A First Citizens Easy Does It loan makes it easy for you to do it all. A new vehicle, your own home, a vacation, education. Visit firstcitizenstt.com to find out more. Apply today.
Take a loan right now. First Citizens Easy Does It. First Citizens Easy Does It.
First Citizens, we put you first.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Cozier-Phillip. This is News Now on TTT. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has urged members of the opposition to stop traumatizing citizens of this country when it comes to allegations surrounding the Jean de la Valette ferry. During a tour of Greenville Park in La Hoqueta, Dr. Rowley said the procurement of the ferry was never a secret.
You would have seen government spokespersons, the minister, they could saying we've gone out to tender asking for vessels. You would have seen us saying that we've got responses, evaluations taking place. At the end of the evaluation, you make an announcement that the cabinet has approved the leasing of a vessel, and all hell break loose. And again, you're getting people getting up and making statements without a shred of evidence and trying to imply that there's wrongdoing in this government.
GPS trackers for fishing boats may soon be implemented to assist in protecting fishermen out at sea. Minister of National Security and Communications, Stuart Young, speaking to reporters in Tobago on Wednesday, said he has had preliminary discussions with the Minister of Agriculture on this, as in recent times the issue of piracy in Tobago's waters has increased. 2 Coast Guard interceptors were presented to Tobago on Wednesday. Minister Young said Cabinet took a decision to refurbish 14 interceptors. So far, 2 have been refurbished, and it was decided that they would be given to Tobago.
Within the past few months, we've had some incidents with fishermen, and they may have faced calamity at sea and they need to be rescued, etc. By us just having assets in the area, it provides us with more ability for a shorter response time and a more effective approach to search and rescue as well.
Minister Young said they are also looking at transponders as an option to protect fishermen.
Yes, I've had preliminary discussions with the Minister of Agriculture, Lands and Fisheries that when we're registering fishermen and their vessels, allow us to put GPS responders in your vessels. So therefore that obviously makes it safer for you out there. And if you're only engaged in legitimate business, you should have absolutely no problem with us monitoring. So we would be in a position to assist you if you get into trouble.
He said it is critical that the other 12 interceptors are up and running as quickly as possible to facilitate the north coast of Trinidad, the south coast, but more particularly the Gulf of Paria. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service Cybercrime Unit, TTPS CCU, is investigating an increase in reports of online harassment and cybercrime. At the TTPS's weekly media briefing, Corporal Marvin Walker said from March 2018 to March 2019, there were 104 reports of online harassment, 56 reports of online bullying, and 83 reports of online defamation of character. He said the internet and social media are not places where someone can harass and bully the innocent without being caught. He added that offenders will be identified and will be made to answer for their activities online.
The TTPS recognizes the numerous positive contributions social media has made to national awareness, business, communication, and culture in our Twin Island Republic. However, there are those who choose to use social media platforms for mischievous and nefarious purposes.
The TTPS CCU has noted several mischievous uses of social media in Trinidad and Tobago, like social engineering, targeted phishing attacks, site compromises, online bullying, confidential information leak, and celebrity name misuse, which he said is one of the popular social media threats of today.
Such a fake account can be used to spread misinformation and rumors or to attract new followers that can later be spammed. The gravity of these threats lies in the fact that criminals can use social media to extract users' personal information and misuse it.
To some sports news now. Young but moving on up, that's Trinidad and Tobago's 13-year-old diver Alyssa Ramlakan, who represented the red, white and black at the CCCAN Diving Championships in Havana recently. Over 120 divers from 13 countries from the Caribbean, Central and South America took part. And despite being by far the youngest competitor and the only one from the English-speaking Caribbean, Alyssa placed 13th in the women's open 1-meter event, which was won by Chilean Alison Maillard. Unperturbed, she stepped up in the 3-meter springboard event and placed a creditable 12th. The event was won by Mexico's Aranza Vasquez. This was a high-level competition and was the last qualifier for the Pan Am Games in Lima later this year. Ramlakan won double gold at the 2017 CCCAN Diving Championships at the National Aquatic Center in Couva when just 11 years old. That brings us to the end of News Now on TTT. I am Karen Kozer-Phillip.
The doors of the Kaiso Cafe open every Sunday at Talk City 91.1 FM. We play the best calypsos, interview the singers, discuss calypso history, and we invite you, the listener, to participate. Join us from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. every Sunday for the Kaiso Cafe on Talk City 91.1 FM.
From the small town all the way to
back in studio. This is Now Lisa alongside Rishi and Carrie. I've been checking the Facebook during the break, and I'm so happy that we could make so many of you start your day the right way here on Now. A lot of laughter and positivity, because you know, whatever you're doing, wherever you're going, when you head out to work, we want you to give you the ammunition to start your day just right.
And remember when
I like that ammunition.
Yeah, and remember when Frank M. Porter said, you know, I'm a
a bundle of fun, or
something to that
effect.
Yeah. So
it's all about Rishi.
No. It is never about me. It is about what people say about me.
Yes, Rishi. Well, you know, this morning is a very important day for thousands, about 18,000 young people who are going off this morning to do the SCA. Just, you know, remember to say a prayer. Let's all rally around our children this morning, give them the energy, and to know that this is not necessarily something that you have to really worry about. I know many people would be nervous, guys, and but Rishi, you said it earlier at the top of the show, and Frank M. Porter quoted you. You know,
imagine that.
When you said that it doesn't matter where you go, I think you said, but it matters what you do with where you go, or something to that effect. So really and truly, parents, I know many of you are just as worried, or probably even more stressed out than your children. So we're with you this morning, and we had Reverend Jacqueline on this morning doing a wonderful prayer for the SCA students. I know some people were appreciative of that. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a hard day for parents, at least until their children come out of the exam. And you know, there is this habit that people have, Lisa. You know, as soon as somebody come out of the exam,
how you did?
How you do? How am I supposed to know how it was? I just finished the exam.
That's a lot of stress.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, I always, as a student, every time you do test, you know, students, your colleagues would come out of the classroom and say, what did you get for this answer? What did you get for that? You know, for which that question? And I'm like,
correct. And
okay. And you and two of your friends have different answers. And then you start to panic.
Yeah, exactly.
That just makes it worse. So my
yeah.
advice to children is, after the exam, don't think about it, don't talk about it. It's done. You can't change anything. Just leave it where it is and wait for the results. Don't go and talk about the answers that you get, and then, because that frustrates you.
More stress.
Yes.
Right? But something that gives us no stress at all is Chimuk Bakery breakfast.
Oh, no, they give us happiness and pleasure, and oh my goodness, they stimulate those taste buds.
I know. Sometimes you think you have to do something because, you know, you just have to say thank you. No, this is a real, genuine thank you. That breakfast is so good, you know.
Chimuk Bakery is life. That's all I want to say.
Can you sing it again?
Chimuk Bakery is life. What else?
Sing it again.
Chimuk Bakery. Now your pastry's fresh and tasty. Chimuk Bakery. Getting fresh bread daily. That's the bakery for me.
Hey.
We have so much fun on this show.
Harry, I don't know how you remember that jingle, but good job there.
Fantastic, I love it.
Okay,
so you want to hear some interesting news?
Yes.
8-time Olympic gold medalist, Usain Bolt. So you know what a tuk-tuk is?
Tuk-tuk like this?
No.
Okay.
That's the type of scooter or
yeah, it's like a
rickshaw or
cart
something,
that you
right?
can drive around.
Okay.
Oh, there we see. Yeah, yes.
So apparently he went a race
I know it
with
was
this
a rickshaw.
tuk-tuk.
Okay.
And in Peru, and he won.
Yeah,
So he
that-
beat a tuk-tuk in a race.
Okay, so he was driving a tuk-tuk.
No, he was running.
Against the tuk-tuk.
Against
But those things don't go that fast. Come on. And that's the voice of one of our crew members there. But I can't see without my glasses. You have to get my glasses.
Yeah, so he won. And yes, I know what a tuk-tuk is because I just Googled it. Just
okay.
before I said this, I Googled it.
It's a fast moving
I don't know how
vehicle.
fast it is.
So it's something that's used.
Because I'm thinking of the rickshaw. And
Yeah,
the rickshaw
it is
is not-
exactly.
That is exactly it.
That is it. It's
But
a
that is
rickshaw.
it.
I've
according
been in
to
a
Google.
rickshaw in India.
Is it fast?
Well, I didn't think, maybe because there was so much traffic. Every time I've been, because in Africa, some of the African countries, they call it a keke, right?
Ah.
So I've been in a keke in, can't remember which African country, but I've been in a keke and a rickshaw. And because it had a lot of traffic at the time, it just felt like it was a slow moving vehicle. But maybe it's very fast.
Probably, and he won. I mean,
Well, he is the fastest
You know,
man on the planet
it's
right
man
now,
versus
right?
machine, and man won.
imagine that.
There was
Yeah,
an
but
ad
we stand
with him
the
on
chance.
that, but they didn't give you the ending. But now we know the ending. All right, so let's see what's going on the roadways. Those of you on Talk City 91.1 FM, Carrie is here with our traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
All right, and we're in the Aranguez area here on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway, and as we can see on the westbound side, there are a number of vehicles heading there toward Port of Spain and Enviras, and we can see right now that it has slowed down a little bit, but it's still flowing, so that's still some good news. It hasn't come to a complete stop and hasn't become a car park, as Lisa likes to say. So on that westbound lane, not too bad at all. Just peeking across onto the eastbound lane, we can see that there's a free flow of traffic. All the vehicles there, no congestion whatsoever. So that's good news for those of you who are heading against the traffic and heading toward the eastern regions of the country or to branch down to the south of the country as well. But as we look here one more time at the westbound lane, it is starting to get a little bit congested. But remember, we can keep you company until 8 a.m. and keep you entertained, informed, and of course, have a good laugh. All right, so let's wrap up this traffic update.
Today's traffic update is made possible by TrafficTT.com and sponsored by Ultimate Solutions Limited.
And of course, we are going to talk now about Wednesday Love, guys. You know what that's about. Huh?
Love, romance, passion.
Good music.
Good music.
Good music. And it's being brought to you by our sister station, Sweet 100 FM. And I believe Mark is on the line. Good morning, Mark.
Hi, Lisa. Good morning.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
Oh, you see what a hug does?
You see what a hug does?
He's jumping out of the station now.
Yeah. Good vibes all the way, I must say.
Yeah.
And I must also say good morning to Mr. Not a Snack, a.k.a. Imitation Dale Fuller Singh.
Way!
You know?
You're being so mean.
I went for the jugular this morning. I went for the jugular this morning.
Oh,
but,
you're being so mean.
That's my boy also. That's my boy. He's come and look for me.
Mark,
I
Mark,
must say
Mark,
so.
Mark. I don't want to be your friend anymore.
I'm looking out for you next week. Huh?
No, don't look out for me.
I'm looking out for you next week. You know,
Don't
it's
worry,
all
Mark,
we good.
That was really good. Everybody's being mean to me, man.
Good.
Not at all. Not at all. He got lots of love from Frank M. Porter, Pastor Frank M. Porter.
Yes, I heard him. I heard him on the floor just now. So good morning to you, Rishi.
Good morning to you, Mr. Anthony.
And I'm looking out for you next week, Wednesday. Remember, next week, Wednesday, we have a big line going on at Movie Town. Remember Fiesta Plaza? You were there last time around, so thank you very much.
I was
and you
singing
said
and
that,
dancing up a storm, man.
well, you're going to do the same thing come next week.
Well, we don't need to actually hear Rishi sing because we have professionals
Thank
like
you.
Kerwin Trotman, who is on set with us right now.
Good morning, Kerwin.
Morning, Mark.
It's good to see
Morning,
you this
sir.
morning. This man, like he's not
guys.
aging at all either, you know. If you hear this voice, Lisa, I remember a couple of years ago,
Yes.
Kerwin took part in its karaoke. I didn't know he was performing that night. And he came on and mashed up the place, as you say.
Yeah.
Real mash up the place. And, you know, it's a pleasure for us to have Kerwin performing come next week
Pleasure to be here, man.
at Fiesta Plaza Movie Town.
Alongside people like Kevin Carter, and Alicia Jagasa, Kenny J, Ellie Rose, Anisha Smith, Juriam.
and
so many more artists.
So many more artists
And
will
Rishi.
be there.
And Rishi
Rishi's going to be
Harinath.
singing.
And Rishi and Carrie. Carrie will be showing off his skills.
Well,
you know?
Carrie, you heard Carrie singing the Chimuk Bakery. Carrie have a voice in there, you know.
Yeah, he has some baritone too. Huh? You know, so it's going to be a wonderful experience. And you know, Cohen has some beautiful covers that he's going to be dropping come next week. And also, you know, Cohen, I mean, he's a man, a ladies man also.
Cohen, he's selling it out there, man, saying you're a ladies man. What's that about?
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But I know Cohen is going to be coming across to chat with you after the interview here on Now. But we want to encourage everyone to go down to join us. We're all going to be there at Movie Town next week, Wednesday, the 10th of April, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yeah, we're going to be all there. Yes, so you can come out and have a chat with us. You know, sometimes people come and they want to say hi, but they're shy. No, you could come. You could get a smile, a hug. I don't know. Well, not Carrie and Rishi.
No,
I can't speak on their behalf.
Carrie is not single. And,
I can't speak on their behalf.
Rishi, boy. Rishi looking for some jobs inside, boy. But
I can't speak on their behalf. I'm not, no pimping out of people here at all. We're going to be leaving it right there with you, Mark.
Thank you very
much. We're
much.
going to continue chatting with Cohen.
You guys take care. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. So, Cohen, welcome to the program.
How you doing?
How you doing?
A
long time, man. Yes. What's going on with you?
Well, working. That's the most important thing, eh?
Yeah.
In the business, you're working, I'm working every weekend. I have a gig at Hyatt.
Yeah.
I'm thanking God for it, and I get other little small things around in the place,
Right. And
it's really nice to be working regular.
Yes, because not many people can say that in the industry. So at least you're getting to do what you love.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I love doing what I do.
Yeah. So you're going to be at Wednesday Love on the 10th of April.
Yeah.
Sweet
I want to
100.
thank 100 again for asking me to come on board,
Yeah.
It's really nice. Because I like the love thing. I've been selling love every year for the last 23 years. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I wear a hat on my chest. I just couldn't find the proper shirt to do.
And what can your fans expect next week at Movie Town?
Regular thing, good music. I will be singing a couple of songs like Unchained Melody and Thinking Out Loud and stuff.
Okay.
I also was thinking about doing my Mother's Day song
Yes.
that I wrote for my mom. I don't like to talk about it too much because it makes people cry because she never heard it.
Oh.
She died before I was finished with it.
Yeah.
But
she's hearing it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we have one of your songs lined up to go. Yes, we do. Which one do we have? You gave us two.
Yes.
We have Right by My Side.
Yeah, that's Mother's Day
That's
song.
the one for your mom?
Yeah.
Well, it's a pleasure for us to have it here on the program this morning.
Okay.
So let's get the music.
When the days and nights were long, words that you spoke kept me strong. Oh, my brothers and sisters, your daughters and sons, you've kept the faith, you loved everyone. When I'm all alone in the night, your love's always there burning bright. Even though I've lost my fight, my mama's love is right by my side. Your love's always there burning bright. Even though I've lost my fight, my mama's love is right by my side. The hard lessons we all learn. Yeah, she should be back. To the strength of your love forever burns. Oh, it's future goodwill to your daughters and sons. heavenly faith shared to everyone. When I'm all alone in the night, your love's always there burning bright. Even though I've lost my fight, my mama's love is right by my side. Your love's always there burning bright. Even though I've lost my fight, my mama's love is right by my side.
So much, Kerwin.
Yeah.
Very powerful
Yeah, the singing in the
lyrics
morning
there
is-
for you. Well, I know it's a hard task to ask you guys to come and sing at 6 o'clock in the morning, but I know
They
everyone's
will
going to be
appreciate
looking
it.
forward to
Yeah.
you.
I've never
at
finished that
Wednesday
song yet,
Love.
you know, without tears coming and stuff. But it's the love, Wednesday Love thing connects with me because, as I said, every time I perform, I say love is going to change the world.
Yeah.
I don't believe in anything else. I'm not saying I'm anti-religion or whatever. I ain't getting into all that. I'm saying the only thing will change the world is love, and we really, 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 really need to do that.
Love is
And
love. Yes,
I don't think it's easily done.
And I love the falsetto. Even.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Yeah, like
Carrie, can do
yourself.
that one? Even.
The voice doesn't go
How about you, Rishi?
No, Lisa.
Kevin, thank you so
beautiful.
much to see
Yeah,
you
very
again.
good. Yeah, it's a pleasure to see you
Good morning
always.
kiss right there. And join Kerwin
Guys,
along with
my pleasure,
Behave,
seriously.
along with Kevin Carter, Alicia Jagger, Kenny J, Ellie Rose, Jay featuring Nisha Smith, Juriam, and so much more. Next week, Wednesday at Fiesta Plaza, Suite 100. That's our sister station. Right now, we go across to Ian Wallace with the weather.
Across Trinidad and Tobago, we've seen a few of those April showers, but most of that should clear as we go through the day. We're expecting a dry, stable air for the most part across the Windward Islands, but we could be seeing maybe a bit more cloudiness by the time we get to Friday. But before then, definitely looking for sunshine and a few brief showers first thing in the morning. The sunshine will likely win the day towards the end of your afternoon, only a light shower or two expected there across Tobago. For eastern areas of Trinidad, the usual morning showers are likely coming into Arima, Piarco, up towards Port of Spain, up towards Diego Martin as well. But most of the showers will be on the light to moderate side. Around at this time of the year, April, you do tend to find an increase in the number of showers, but still bearing in mind that the harsh dry season continues, and therefore we're expecting a lower than normal rainfall as we go through the month of April. Temperature-wise, looking at a warmer 33 degrees Celsius expected in Trinidad, 31 likely in Tobago, and it seems as though for the rest of the working week, could be seeing just occasional showers on a Friday, and then the weekend dries out quite nicely for both Trinidad and Tobago, especially by Sunday. We could be seeing unbridled sunshine across both islands to end the weekend. Now heading offshore, the winds are definitely picking up, and so too will be the seas. We're looking at wind waves up to 2.5 meters offshore, especially out in the Atlantic, with northeasterly swells of 8 to 9 seconds, and those fresh northeasterly winds of 15, maybe pushing close to 20 knots as you go through your Thursday. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.
What will you do if I told you that there's a tool to help your child successfully complete the SEA exams? It can reduce his stress and anxiety during this difficult period, increase her chance of getting higher grades, and boost his self-confidence. What will you do? This tool can help your child think logically during math exams, master word problems, angles, equations, measurement, fractions, decimals, and percentages. Write creative and captivating essays. Construct and structure correct answers to comprehension questions. Use adjectives, verbs, adverbs, nouns, pronouns, conjunctions, comparatives, superlatives. What would you do? Well, get the highly effective JJ & Friends Essay Suite, and as a bonus, receive a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet. Call now 7464-SEA. That's 7464-4732. Stocks are limited, so call now.
Maximize your impact when you advertise on TTT Live Online. With TTT Live Online, your brand can be seen by viewers in TNT and all around the world via our social media pages. Our audience is growing every day. TTT Live Online has reached over 260,000 followers across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And you can bet they're watching. Our statistics show the live stream of the Now Morning Show reaches tens of thousands of viewers each day. Our news and entertainment pieces draw hundreds of thousands of views across all platforms. And you have an opportunity to be integrated into or featured alongside all this amazing content. Are you ready to maximize impact? Contact our sales team now. Call 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the Now Morning Show here on TTT. We are also live on Talk City 91.1 FM, on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Just search for us, TTT Live Online, and be part of everything happening now here on TTT. It is time for us to go over to Tobago, and we are going to be chatting with Vanessa Boyce, who is the co-founder and publicity chair, Pink Diamond Society for Ladies. And 2019, they are presenting Mars versus Venus, and it is in commemoration of International Women's Day. The theme for this year, gender balance, for better or for worse. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm very good.
So the event, Mars versus Venus, is today.
Yes, it is today. It's at 5:30 at the Bliss Restaurant and Lounge in Scarborough.
Right, and the theme is gender balance, for better or for worse.
Yes.
What is the expected outcome of this event, and what preparations went into it?
Well, this is an event that the Pink Diamond Society has had. This is our 5th installment. Mars versus Venus is a session where we have panelists and they come in and talk about relationships. We usually have different topics. So this year, when we speak of gender balance, for better or for worse, we are looking at how the changing trends in relationship affecting men and women these days. So we have the trend of the female breadwinner, or the woman in the household might be making more money or is in a more senior position than the man, and how that is affecting relationships. We also have the cougar culture, where we have young men going after older women, and then we have the flip side with the sugar daddy culture, with young women going after older men, and how that is affecting our cultures and so on. So that is what we're going to be discussing.
Now, there are 3 things that you mentioned there, and I want to take them one at a time. The first one would be the woman in the household probably earning more money, holding more power, if I can use that term, in the household. Do you think that is a change for the better or the worse?
Right, exactly. That is what we're going to talk about, because it's not just, sometimes it might start like that, or sometimes it may be a case where the man was the one making more. But because our economy is changing and some people are getting laid off, this can happen where the woman is now the main breadwinner. And we have a panel of representing different ideas who will talk about how that could affect the relationship and probably how to deal with it.
I mean, it's always good if both parties are making money, but if the woman is making more, I mean, that is not necessarily a bad thing from where I sit, because if the woman is making and the man is making, at least you can put it together because you're living together, you're married, if you have kids, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
That is true. I don't see it as a bad thing either, but there are people who would not be comfortable in a situation like that.
Yeah, this masculinity that we need to have.
Yes.
But then you also mentioned women who go for sugar daddies.
Yes. I remember seeing a program on television in the US where that is something that a lot of girls look for. They look for someone who's older, who has money to help them to go to school, pay for their university bills, and make sure they have all the best designer outfits and make sure that they're looking good. Because that is a life they want to live.
But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, sometimes...
I'm not saying that these are bad things. These are just topics that are now reality for us that we want to discuss. They will be good and bad for different people. So we just want to see how they affect relationships.
I mean, if you're getting something out of it, you might as well, right? that sounds like a really interesting conversation. But then you have the flip side where you have the younger men going after the older women, as we call them, cougars. This is something that we see very often.
Yes, we do. And there are different reasons why some men would prefer a mature woman. Some men prefer the conversation, or they just prefer to have that kind of... I guess somebody just like a safety net. So that if anything happens, they have someone who's there, who's strong in the relationship to help them along.
Wow, I'm thinking that's interesting. I wonder if my colleagues ever thought about that. Getting an older woman a cougar. That is an interesting conversation, and I think it's something that we'll touch more on. But as relates to this event, it is today for
5:30.
Yeah, 5:30.
At this restaurant and lounge in Scarborough.
And there is a contribution that people are asked to make?
Yes, it's a fundraising activity for the society, so we are asking for a contribution of $50.
For the contact information?
Yes, they can contact me at 380-3261 to collect tickets, or you can pay at the door.
And what do you think or expect people can take away from this event?
I think they would really see the different panelists giving their views. I could probably touch a little bit. We have 4 panelists. There are 2 young persons, 2 mature persons, 2 married persons, 2 single persons. So we're getting different views, and we have someone who is a minister of the gospel, so she will be given a probably more religious side. Then we have someone who's a trained counselor. And then we have a businesswoman. She owns her own enterprise. That's Alicia Riley. She was actually on this program a few weeks or a few months ago. Then we have a young man who's going to give his young man's side as somebody who, was involved in sports. He's a business person, and he will give the more real, on-the-ground responses.
I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a really fantastic event, and I'm hoping that we can have more conversations like these, because these things are real. So hopefully, moving forward, we would be able to chat a little bit more about this. Thank you very much, Vanessa Boyce, co-founder and publicity chair, Pink Diamond Society for Ladies. They have an event taking place at 5:30 p.m. Bliss Restaurant and Lounge, a contribution of $50. It's called Mars vs. Venus 2019. The theme, gender balance for better or for worse. So once again, thank you very much, Vanessa Boyce, for joining us via Skype from Tobago. This is the Now Morning Show on TTT, and one of our favorite segments on a Thursday, Do It Yourself with Carrie.
Do It Yourself, brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement.
All right, we're back here, and big thank you going out to TNZ Home Improvement and, of course, Rustic Works Furniture Company for this DIY segment. Now it's time for DIY, and if you were with us last week, if you remember well enough, that we had started the project on a floating shelf with secret storage. Now, we finished the first part. We had the top piece here, and we attached the side pieces. We also built the mechanism that would attach it to the wall. Now, I have not brought that today. If you want to see that, check our video from last week for the DIY, and you can see just how to get that going. But for now, we're going to go ahead with this second and final part of the floating shelf with secret storage. Now, this top piece here is 4 feet long by 1 foot wide. We attached the side braces here, which were 1 foot wide as well, and about 6 inches in height. All right, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to flip it over, and we are going to actually attach the front piece, because as I said, it's going to be a storage unit as well. So we're going to actually use this front piece here, which is solid pine, which is 4 feet long And what we're going to do is create a door, so to say. So I have some hinges here. You're going to need two 2-inch hinges. They each have 2 holes on each side, so 4 holes in total and one. You're going to need the screws for those hinges. These are 1-inch screws. All right, we got a nice close up there. All right, so we're going to need 8 of those. We're going to need some 2-inch screws because we're going to attach the bottom piece as well. And if you notice from the change from last week to this week in the color of this, well, I actually sanded this down and gave it a little bit of a stain so it could look a little bit nicer. So let's go ahead with that now. You're going to need a power screwdriver preferably. And since it's plywood, you don't really need to pre-drill holes. So you can work with it just like that. But if you prefer to do that and you think it's safer that way, well, then you could pre-drill your holes first and then we can get moving on the other part. The reason I have not put the bottom on is because we need to access this area here to attach the hinges, and finally we'll put the bottom piece on, which would then line up really nicely to finish this piece off, and you can then attach it to your wall with the mechanism. You have to check back that video from last week and then we'll move forward from there. Okay, so let me just clear this area a little bit because I need to move things around. So for those of you listening on Talk City 91.1 FM, what I'm doing right now is just removing all the things out of the table. I have flipped over the shelf, so now it is inverted, and the bottom piece, which is not yet attached, is on my table, and I'm now moving this right over here. I need a little more space to get this down in the groove because we need to line it up so that it fits flush. All right, so now it's time to attach hinges. I have a measuring tape over here, and we want to just get a rough measure of where the hinges must go because they need to be equidistant so that we wouldn't have any problems when we are closing this thing up. All right, so I'm measuring 4 inches from the left side first. I'm going to make my mark. And that's where the end of the hinge will go. I'm going to then make a 4-inch measurement from the right side and make my mark, and that will mark where I have to put my hinge on that side as well. So then we are ensured that everything is nice and even. Okay, so now that we have the spots for the hinges, now we're just going to attach the hinges themselves. It is imperative that you place the hinges in the proper place or else your thing wouldn't operate like it's supposed to. So as I said, we don't need to pre-drill holes here just because these are smaller screws, and also because you just get this out of the way for now. Place it because I know where it has to go. Alright, there we go. Since it's plywood, it's a little more friendly with getting screws in. Just want to go slowly at first and then drive it. So I'm putting in the screw on the left side first. Nice and lined up. Now we're going to go on the opposite side and attach it to the underside of the shelf on this side. And again, you line it up with the line you just made that you measured 4 inches. Ensure that your hinge is on the same side of the mark as you did on the opposite side. Driving my screw in now. Now the second one. Right. Now we can attach the front piece. As you see over here, you want the smooth and the nice looking side to be on the outside of this, all right? So you make sure that you line it up in such a way. Let me turn this around a little bit just so that I'm drilling downward rather than trying to drill from the side, just so I have more control. So what we're going to do right here, right now, is flip it like this. Now it's going to block y'all a little bit, unfortunately, but what is very important is that you line this up with the top piece here. If we can look in a little bit closely, make sure that the front piece that you're putting on is lined up properly with the end of the piece. All right, so from here, one more time, I'm gonna drive screws. You can't see it from here right now, but if my cameraman is behind me, thankfully. So that's one side in, and just to make your life a little bit easier, I want to put one screw on each side first, just so the unit supports itself. and from there you can drive the other screw much more easily because you're not trying to play a balancing game. Alright, so just 2 more screws on either side, and we are ready to put on our bottom piece to complete this. The nice thing about a floating shelf is that it looks attractive, and this one doubles as storage, so you could put away some things that you prefer to be out of sight. Alright, so we're driving in the final screw here, then we're ready to put in the bottom piece. Nice. See if this front piece works. Alright, there we go. Now we flip it over, and this piece that is on the bottom here actually ends up on top, so we can drive it down. Thank you, Rishi.
I'm a helpful person.
Yep, you need to please.
I live to please.
Alright, so to attach this, we now need some 1.5 inch screws, which I've brought here, and you need roughly 6. So you need to ensure that this slides there. So now we see that it fits flush. And you may need to apply a little pressure because in this thing of building things, you measure twice and then you cut and then you squeeze it to fit anyway. Alright, so you want to line up your corners first and foremost. So apply a little pressure here. If it would only cooperate, there we go. One side, and I would do the same thing. I would do the same thing on the other side, just so that it cooperates a little bit more and everything is lined up at first, and then I don't have to worry too much about trying to make everything squeeze in. Alright, now life will be a little bit easier because it's in place. So I'll then go behind and put in the fastening screws, and then we'll have a finished piece which would be ready to put on that attachment mechanism that I made last week. So again, if you have not seen it, you could just go onto our Facebook or YouTube and you can catch the episode from last week of DIY Now. And there we go. I'll just put 2 more for safety. Alright. And if you were here last week and you remember the piece I created, what you actually do, that piece is attached to the wall itself. You then, there we go, slide this. That's why there's an exit piece over here. That's why there's no covering over here, because it actually slides over the piece you created, and then you have your floating shelf. Alright, so that's it for DIY Now. A big thank you going out again to our sponsors, TNZ Home Improvement and Rustic Works Furniture Company. So you do
it yourself, brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement.
Alright, that was really fantastic by Carrie. Your DIY project, it started last week, it's finished now. So we're going to put it together at some point in time and we'll let people see a picture at least of what it looks like. So, you know, I think I can do that. Do you think I can do that?
Yeah, I think you could definitely do that, Rishi.
I helped you last week.
Yeah. Help me out, and you know, it was a team up here on the morning show.
This is my project as much as it's Carrie's project. But it was fantastic. So once again, thank you very much to TNZ Home Improvement and Rustic Works Limited for being part of the DIY segment. For now, we take a break and come back. Stay with us.
My thing is, how is it uncool to want to save the planet, to want to be clean, you know, to want to love the earth, to love where you came from. And I think it's weird, and I when I came across New Fire, I was so happy that you guys started something like this, and I felt like I wasn't alone, and I'm even happier to even be a part of this right now, and I'm happy that I can lend my voice in a different way. Hi, I'm Giovanna, and I'll be performing at the New Fire Festival 2019. I am super, super excited to perform for New Fire. I love everything that they have been doing. Started recycling about a year ago, and I'm so happy to be a part of this initiative. See you there.
Life is so mundane.
Reach further when you advertise with TTT. Sweet 100, Next 99.1, and at Talk City 91.1 FM. Whether it's television, radio, or social media, our stations belong to the only broadcast network with 100% coverage across Trinidad and Tobago. That's a fact. From Port of Spain to Point Fortin, Crown Point to Charlottesville, every household in TNT can easily access our signal. TTT remains the only broadcaster with live capability from multiple locations in the country, making us the most dependable source of information for events of national importance. Find us on any smart device at TTT Live Online. Are you ready to reach further with your advertising? Contact our sales team now. Call us at 622-4141 at extensions 2601 to 2607 or email us at sales@ttt.co.tt.
Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Father, I see them standing by the corner, you will see them. With gun in the hand, you will see them. My life the one that destroy, Lord, I hope you see them. Father, I see them smiling, Lord, but in the heart they really hating. My life the one I see come to end, but we beg you, Jesus, please protect me from them. So me sing again. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. 1,000 on me left, 10,000 on me right, Father God we beg you please put them demons to flight, cause everything you give I don't wanna steal. Me house me Camelon, Father I don't wanna steal. The money in the bank, don't wanna steal. The woman in my life, don't wanna steal. The peace and the help you are give I. My family don't wanna destroy, that's why me sing Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, if in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't you cover me? Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield, Father God protect me, Jesus Christ well, never leave, never leave, never leave, never leave me. Father God, in your arms I will you keep me. Never leave, never leave, never leave, never leave me. Father protect me, Father protect me. Never leave, never leave, never leave, never leave me. Mighty God, Father, just always protect me. Never leave, never leave, never leave, never leave me. Jah protect me, Jah protect me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield. Even in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't to cover me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield. Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield. Even in the midst of my enemies, Jah won't to cover me. Jah be my shield, Jah be my shield. Father God protect me, Jesus Christ defend me. Jah be my shield.
Ian Pierre, gospel artist. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome. Oh my gosh, hear the difference. It's like good morning, and Jah be my friend. Good to have you on the program.
Good to be here.
Gospel artist.
Yeah.
And we all would know that you are visually impaired, right?
Yes.
So, how long were you born like this, or did it happen over time?
No, I lost my sight at age 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I born premature.
Right.
So because of that, I born before time and so on. My eyes didn't develop properly.
Uh-huh.
So I lost my sight when I was 10 years old.
What was that like?
It was hard. It was tough. You know, being able to see at one point and then lose it. It was very challenging, you know, but I had my mom and she always been there for me and so on to support me and encourage me. So, yeah.
When did you start writing? Was this an own composition?
Yeah. This
so
song
you write your own music?
Yeah, I write my own songs.
And when did you start composing?
When I was 22.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So like 10 years ago, yeah.
Yeah. And you, what inspires you? Where do you get your inspiration from?
I get my inspiration from, well, God, of course. And I get my inspiration, like, you know, through my disability, I'm able to, like, be encouraged to know that in spite of my disability and so on, I have a talent.
Right.
You know, and that I can use that to uplift myself.
Yeah.
And not go into depression or anything because I'm blind or anything like that. You know, so music is an encouraging tool that I use to encourage me, knowing that all is not bad with the world.
Right.
You know, because I cannot see, that doesn't mean I can do anything. So
you can continue to inspire others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And your gospel journey, what's that been like for you?
Oh, that's been awesome. Yeah, that's been great. I know I love telling people about Christ and so on, and representing Him. And one way I can do that is through music. And I thank God that I'm able to do that, you know, to glorify Him through my talent, through music, through writing songs and so on that will lift Him up and let people know about Him and so on.
Yeah. Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I play drums.
You play the drums,
drum kit and keyboard.
Wow, you play the drum kit. You know, I really would like us to get a set in studio and just have people just play out. You know?
Yeah. I love drums.
And the sound effects, good. Yeah, so you play the drum and the keyboards.
Yeah, keyboard, yeah.
That helps you with your writing, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it does.
And you play the keyboard. You started to learn keyboards before you lost your vision?
No.
So you picked it up even after?
Yeah, after.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, Ian, I know you have another song in store for us.
Yes.
Right? And what's the name of the song?
The song is called Sweet Touch.
Sweet Touch.
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka.
All right. Well, you know what? I think we should take in a few minutes and then perhaps come back in and have the remaining moments on the show and have your song, Sweet Touch.
Okay.
Ian Pierre with us, gospel artist. It's Lent, remember, guys. So we're bringing you a little bit of prayerful moments here on Now. Back in a moment after this.
It remains tranquil across the eastern Caribbean. Not much chance of rainfall here. Only down towards the southern Windward Islands where we see some cloudiness from time to time and maybe some passing showers by Friday. But for the Greater Antilles, we've continued to see just occasional clouds coming through Santo Domingo and Port-au-Prince. Kingston, just partly cloudy at 32 degrees Celsius. And Havana, ahead of another frontal system, a few brisk showers there at 29 degrees Celsius. For the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, we'll continue to see those gusty showers. The breeze has been picking up of late, but at this time of the year, we usually see the trade winds increasing. And also, towards the end of April, you will begin to see a lot more in terms of the showers. So the showers are there, but bearing in mind that most of the islands are still under a meteorological drought warning, and obviously every drop counts as we get towards the end of April and continue into May. So that's your Caribbean travel forecast, and that's it from me.
We're back in studio, and Rishi during the break assures us that today is
National Hugger Newsperson Day.
That's legit. It's
It
not
is a
fake
legit
news
thing.
site.
It is a legit
But
thing.
since you're the only news person, yeah, come on, Harry, come on. National Hugger. Which camera are we on?
Which camera are we on? Yeah, we're on this one.
Make it up, make it up. All this Ian, I know you can't see what's happening here, but Rishi is turning completely red because we just gave him a huge bear hug. Yeah, Ian Pierre, gospel artist, still with us in studio, and you're going to take us out to the top with your song called Don't Hate Me. Rishi, don't hate us. Don't hate us. Okay, guys, remember to make a difference now. Today, we're going to be back with you tomorrow, but right now, we leave you with the wonderful music of gospel artist Ian Pierre. See you tomorrow.
Christ will love again. Love Christ and it's sin. Don't hate me, you know. When me walking in, me blessing. When me talking on, me blessing. When me driving in, me blessing. Don't hate me, don't hate me. As me take a sip of me coffee, me just wonder among us hate me. When the sea chain from me neck will ring on me finger. Every day me put my foot in a Jordan sneaker. This music me a blaze when me driving in me fancy car. Move up past somebody straight, me hold up every gangster, every woman, every child and every outsider. Don't be mad when you see me prosper. So when me walking in, me blessing. When me talking on, me blessing. When me driving in, me blessing, man. Don't hate me, don't hate me. When me walking in, me blessing. When me talking on, me blessing. When me driving in, me blessing, man. Don't hate me, don't hate me. Enough of them despise me, enough of them are jealous me. Like David, some of them plot against me, but me keep me head up, no me not get by me. Enough man come against me. Bye. Me house and me car and me land, me tell you Jah who has blessed me. Me now go rob and steal from nobody, so you got no reason to hate me. Well, when me walking in, me blessing. When me talking on, me blessing. When me driving in, me blessing, man. Don't hate me, don't hate me. When me walking in, me blessing. When me talking on, me blessing. When me driving in, me blessing, man. Don't hate me.
Taxi!
I felt the same earlier. Try these.
Panadol Multi-Symptom. The power to relieve bothersome cold and flu symptoms fast. Panadol Multi-Symptom. When cold and flu is gone, life takes its place.
Ranking Production, a new era in media. Our professional services include videography, cinematography, photography, aerial videography, and television production. We provide expert coverage of weddings, concerts, sporting events, graduations, corporate functions, music videos, ads, lectures, christenings, parties, and portraits. Contact us today. Ranking Production, capturing your memorable moments in life.
Receive a free Kindle Fire 7 HD with Alexa features when you purchase the highly effective JJ & Friends SEA Tab Suite. Designed for students in standards 3 to 5, the SEA Tab provides interactive learning for success, digital tools for a digital generation, and has over 50 bonus apps that relate to the Ministry of Education's SEA syllabus. The SEA Suite comes with a free Amazon Kindle Fire 7 tablet with JJ & Friends video lessons on mathematics, creative writing, comprehension and language arts, along with workbooks, charts, and checklists designed to successfully prepare your child for the SEA exam.
When they have a tablet in their hands,
they become so much more engaged. It's the new pencil, it's the new paper, it's the new book.
It's education everywhere at all times.
It's totally different than the classroom that we grew up in. It's the future.
Call now 374-SEA2. That's 374-7322 or 7464-SEA. That's 7464-732.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Kozia Phillip. This is News Now on TTT. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, together with a team from the Ministry of Works and Transport and the National Infrastructure Development Company NIDCO, toured progress works on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway extension to Manzanilla on Wednesday. The project was halted for at least a year when the Privy Council reversed the decision by local courts in the appeal by fishermen and friends of the sea who challenged the decision of the Environmental Management Authority, EMA, to grant a certificate of environmental clearance. Prime Minister Rowley recalled the setbacks that delayed progress on the highway extension.
Unfortunately, that project would have been considerably advanced. This morning you might have been able to drive on a paved road, but as you know, there were issues of objections and obstructions, and we lost a year on that project. Hopefully by the end of this year we would have done most of the subsurface work and the subgrade work, and we'd be up at the level of preparing the wearing surfaces and so on.
The Prime Minister, however, is confident the roadworks will greatly assist commuters in East Trinidad. Minister of Works and Transport Rohan Sinanan maintained that the clearance of forestry in the area is within regulations set by the EMA.
We have a clearance by the EMA of 100 meters. So what they would have done is to utilize the 100 meter, but what he indicated that the highway itself, the paved area, would have just been about 40 meters. So they did not clear in excess of what was approved by the EMA. What was approved by the EMA was 100 meter, and then we have a 100 meter buffer zone. So we are outside the buffer zone, but what he tried to indicate is that you would have seen all these clearances, which was allowed, but the paved area would just be about 40 meters.
The Prime Minister and a technical team also inspected infrastructure projects being conducted inside Greenvale Park, La Hoqueta on Wednesday, accompanied by the Minister of Housing and Urban Development and the Minister of Works and Transport. Prime Minister Rowley said government intends to make the most of the dry season to ensure the residents of Greenvale feel a sense of safety.
An aspect of this drainage were these cylinders that were allowing the drainage to feed into the stream next door. We're breaking that out and replacing it by a larger, better, higher outfall. We're changing the angle of the outfall, because I distinctly recall when I was here last time, one of the problems was the angle of intersect between this outfall and the river. We're changing that now to allow flow from both sides.
Dr. Rowley also noted that the HDC